Welcome to the RISER'S HUB, your go-to podcast for personal growth and self-discovery. I'm Nicol Hodges, your host and life coach, and I'm thrilled to be your companion on this transformative journey. In this safe space, we'll explore the nuances of becoming the best version of yourself. Whether you're seeking mental clarity, physical fitness, or a holistic life transformation, the RISER'S HUB is here to provide insights, guidance, and a touch of humor along the way. I authored Time to Rise, Get Fit, and Stay There, and my mission is simple: to help you unlock your true potential. No gimmicks, just practical wisdom, suggestions, and encouragement tailored to your unique path. So grab your favorite earplugs, beverage, munchies, and find a comfortable spot and join me on this adventure of self-discovery. This is the RISER'S HUB, where personal growth meets practicality and possibly a new you. Let's navigate this journey together because, I'm not perfect either. Let's go. Hey, it's your girl Nicole, and you are listening to the RISER'S HUB podcast. First of all, happy New Year. Can you believe we're in year 2024? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. And I'm also excited about this next episode. We're finally on the goal setting episode. So stay tuned. So I noticed that each and every time I start a new podcast, there's either a phrase or a question or a story that pops up that really resonates with me before I even start putting these episodes together. Now, 9 times out of 10, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing the best I can because I really want to help people out there. So bear with me. For this episode, this is the goal setting episode, and we're going to be doing some mapping and some goal setting and really trying to get you guys on pace for the new year. So in this episode, I want to ask a question. And the question is, are you watching your life or are you living your life? Now, when I say watching your life, I mean, I get up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I eat my breakfast, I go to work, I come home, I repeat. I mean, that's watching your life, watching you do the same routine over and over and over again. And first of all, some people like routine. So I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing because I do like routine. I like consistency. It makes me feel like I'm achieving something. But sometimes you can kind of get in a rut. And so if you're in a rut, you tend to watch yourself do this every day and you get so used to doing it, you don't know how to plug something into your life to make a change. Now, if you're living your life, you might have the same routine, but you're doing things and you're moving and you're grooving and there's people coming in and out of your life and that there's experiences that you're experiencing and you're grateful for. And it feeds your soul. That's living your life. So as we work through these goals and setting these goals, think about that question. Am I watching my life or am I living my life? Now, there's a short story I want to share with you. And it's about my Uncle Robert. And I'm going to try and get through this story as quick as I can because I don't want to get emotional. But my Uncle Rob, he was this tall, deeply loved person, and everybody loved him. Like, I don't care what walk of life you came from. There was something that you found in common with him. He lived his life to the fullest. He loved his guns. He was a person, yes, who owned guns, and he would go to the range to shoot them. He would build them. He would be in shooting contests. He loved fishing and hunting. He was a very outdoorsy type of person. He introduced at least me and my family to canoeing. And we would go out in the big, rubber tires and be out on the lake and everything. It was exciting to go and visit him and my aunt. He was tall. He was personable, loving, willing to help you no matter what situation you were in. He wanted to try and help you. Well, I'm guessing around 6 or 7 years ago, he lost his legs. And it was shocking because, I mean, like I said, he was a very tall, personable guy, and he liked to be active. But his health just was getting to him, and they had to amputate his legs. Now, the last time I talked to him was about a year ago. I came to visit the East Coast back in April of 2022. And we went downstairs in the basement, and we were going through some of his belongings. He was trying to get me to help him find something. And I don't know if we found it, but in the middle of, just, a little chit chat here and there, he became vulnerable with me with the story and basically said that, I don't know, he just paused and said, Nicole, he's like, I was a 6'2" man, and now I'm 4 foot nothing. I'm just short, and I don't have my legs. And I was really shocked by the start of the conversation because we've never had like these deep conversations before. And for him to share this with me it meant a lot to me. And he said, even though I don't have my legs, he goes, I'm very grateful for my life because I was living my life, and I lived my life to the fullest. And I did everything I wanted to do. I could have made a couple of different choices here and there, but, I wanted to live the life I wanted to live, and I wanted to be happy. And he goes, I look back and I'm grateful for it. And what's interesting about my uncle is that if he was still alive today and you met him, he would talk to you like he talked to you 10 years ago with legs and like he was at the shooting range. He was such a positive light of a person that you just enjoyed being around him. And that didn't change because he lost his legs. He would conversate with you. He would share things with you. And his spirit never changed. And that's what he was trying to share with me, is that his spirit wasn't going to change because he lost his legs. And so as you're working through your goals, and as you're working to, I don't know what it is you want. It could be a tiny, tiny goal to a big, massive goal. Set a standard for yourself to stay positive, optimistic, and be the light and the person that people want to be around. Because I think you can achieve your goals faster and more effectively if you keep that type of spirit and that type of light over yourself. And I'm just going to call it Uncle Rob mythology, man. So when you're going through your goals and you're thinking about what you want in life, think about if you're watching your life or living your life. And think about the story of Uncle Rob. Okay? So here we go. Let's go set some goals. Okay, so let's get into the RISE theory. I created the RISE theory when I was going through life coach training. And RISE stands for research, identify, strategize, and execute. It's just a foundation for someone to get started in life coaching and to help them figure out what they want in a more specific way. Okay? So R is for research. Now I'm going to keep it simple since this is a podcast and not a one-on-one life coaching session. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions. And when you have time, you're going to answer these questions because these questions are going to help you move forward in setting your goals. Question number 1, why are you here? Number 2, what do you want to accomplish? Number 3, what are your core values? For instance, what are 3 good reasons to make a change, and how important is this change to you? Number 4, 2 things you really like about yourself. And number 5, 2 things you want to improve about yourself. So this will give you kind of an idea of where your head is and where you want to go. Now, don't worry. These questions are going to be on the RISER'S HUB.com. You're going to click a button that says resources, and you'll be able to download these questions so that you can have something to refer back to. Also, when you're answering these questions, I want you to be very true to yourself. Tell yourself exactly what you want. Do not have someone else's mentality, ideas, or needs in place or in front of your own. Does that make sense? So while you're answering these questions, you're answering these questions for yourself. So I'm going to strongly suggest that you consider and think about your needs first and not what someone else wants you to do. So once you have answered those questions and you feel like you've been very, very honest with yourself, we're going to move into identify. And identify basically stands for identifying what you think is holding you back. So a lot of times it could be time, it could be resources, it could be bad time management, it could even be procrastination. I want you to identify at least 5 things, and yes, I want you to list them, that you think are holding you back. Okay? Once you write down those 5 things, I want you to go back and look at them in a way where, I was about to tell you, look at them hard. I do want you to look at them hard because I want you to think about what you wrote down. And if anything that you wrote down, do you think you can control it? Or do you think you can change it in any way? Because what happens with identifying our problems or identifying what's holding us back or identifying what's controlling our situation, it's usually an excuse. And it's really hard to swallow because we want to blame someone else for our issues or for why we fear certain things or why we worry about moving forward. And at the end of the day, when you decide on what those things are that are holding you back, those are just excuses. I remember the first time someone said that to me. It wasn't something I wanted to hear. It took me by surprise, but I knew that it was the truth. So again, when you look at that list, see what you've written down and think about what you can change or control from that list and start pushing yourself forward. No more excuses. Okay, now we're going to move on to the letter S for strategize. Here, we are going to create a specific plan to reach your goal. We're going to strategize, okay? So what I'd like for you to do is make a list of goals that you want to achieve. It could be a list of goals you want to achieve in 2024 or the next 3 to 5 years. It's completely up to you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to write down at least 10 goals, maximum 10 goals. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take that list of 10 goals and you're going to narrow them down to just 3. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of times we start writing down all these goals and I'm going to do this for 2024. I'm going to do that for 2024. And oh my gosh, we're going to do. And you just go on and on and on. And then here comes June 2024. And you look at that list again and you've achieved, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 of 10 goals that you wrote down. And then you start to feel a certain kind of way because there's 7 other goals that you need to achieve and you've already gotten through like 6 months and only achieved 2. That's setting yourself up for failure. That's my point. So go ahead and write down 10 goals. It could just be 5 goals. Heck, it could be 15 goals. Go crazy on it. But when you're done with that list, I want you to narrow it down to 3 important goals. And I want those goals to be SMART goals, which means, that's an acronym. Hello, you know I love acronyms. They need to be SMART goals, which means they need to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and they need a timestamp on it. Okay? Those are SMART goals. Okay, now before we get to E for execute, this is a type of podcast where you can stop, write things down, start it back up again. You can go to the website, RISER'S HUB.com, download the resources like I mentioned before, and take your time. The reason why I do this podcast is because I really want to see people achieve their goals, live their best life, and stop telling themselves that they can't do this or they can't do that. Because anyone can change and anyone can make a huge difference in their life. Okay, so back to the acronym RISE. Now we're on E. E stands for execute. And in my book, no pun intended, E for execute means action steps, okay? So you're going to take your top 3 goals and we're going to write those top 3 goals down, okay? So start with goal number 1. Let's just get very simple. Start with goal number 1, write that down. And underneath that goal, you are going to write down 3 action steps that are going to get you closer to that goal, okay? So goal number 1 is to run a 5K, for example. All right. Your first action step might be, okay, you want to run a 5K? I'm going to go buy some new running shoes. The second action step might be, I'm going to drink more water to stay hydrated. And the third step would be, I'm going to research 5K workouts. Now, those seem really simple, and they're supposed to be, because you want to set yourself up for success. You're not going to write down, I'm going to run my first 5K, and then I'm going to run 3 miles tomorrow. I'm going to run 5 miles the next day, and then I'm just going to go run a 5K. You might be setting yourself up for failure because you're doing too much and you're not taking the small steps to really make you succeed, like drink water, buy the right running shoes, and find the right 5K workout. Now, if it's another type of goal, like I want to get my finances in order. Okay, well then maybe the first action step is I need to find a financial advisor. The second step might be as simple as I can actually save $10 per paycheck. And the third action step may be instead of buying my lunch every day, I'm going to start carrying my lunch every day to save money. It could be as simple as that. So I want you to look at those 2 examples, think about the goals that you're setting, and then I want you to create very small, specific action steps to get you closer to that goal. Now, what's cool about these action steps is, yes, they're small, but they're SMART, and also, too, they can also change. So once you've gotten through those 3 action steps and you've achieved them, then you move to the next 3 action steps. Now that you're drinking more water, you might want to add more fruits and vegetables to your meals to go with the water. You've bought the new shoes, so now you are actually running the workout that you found with the new shoes. Now that you've been doing the workout, in order for you to stay accountable or stay motivated to run, maybe I need to find a community to run with. Those are your next 3 action steps. Okay? And then maybe in a couple of weeks, those 3 action steps change. So you're taking little small steps to get closer to your goal. And then next thing you know it, you are, tying your shoes up and ready to run that 5K. All right. So now I have explained the RISE theory. I really want to see you succeed. So if you are doing this, go to the RISER'S HUB.com, like I said before, and click on resources and download the pages that you need. They're just supplement pages. Or you can go as far as purchasing the book, Time to Rise, Get Fit and Stay There. You can download the book from the website or through Amazon.com if you want the actual book. And then I would also suggest getting an accountability partner or doing this with a group and having those discussions that you really need in order to achieve your goals. It's one thing when you're talking about goals, you definitely will get closer to your goals if you're writing them down and having a discussion with other people. And man, having that accountability partner really helps. I'm actually in an accountability partnership with a girlfriend of mine, just making sure that we do our daily tasks every day. And it just really makes a difference because you know that you're going to have to answer to someone and let them know what you have or have not done during the day. So think about that. I really hope that you got something from this podcast. Feel free to email me with any questions, concerns, or ideas for the next RISER'S HUB podcast at hello@theRisersHubPodcast.com. If you're enjoying this podcast, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share. That's what they told me to do at the end of this podcast. So could you hook me up? Thanks. Bye. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Remember, this podcast is meant for both education and entertainment purposes only. I am not a licensed therapist, so it's crucial to consult your physician, psychotherapist, or qualified health professionals for personalized advice. Until next time, take care.